Hello and welcome back to the mat. I'm Tati and today I'll be guiding you through a special class for the festive season. So if you've been a bit stressed or even if you just want a little bit of stretching, you're welcome to join this class. Of course, you can do this any other time of year. I'm just releasing this after the festive season in 2024. Today we also have a special little guest visiting today. This is Buddy. Hopefully he will be fine with me filming. He is not used to being near yogis. I know, new This class comes as a special request from my cousin from Switzerland, so thanks for this one. You won't need any props for today. And with that, I'd say let's get started seated in a comfortable cross-legged position. So finding a nice tall spine, rolling the shoulders up and away, broaden the chest, and then just relaxing your hands on your knees, perhaps closing down your eyes. And sense into the body. Yoga is a special time where we can integrate both our mind, our body, and our spirit. So starting off by feeling into your physical body, taking note of any thoughts floating around in your mind. And then just checking in with how you're feeling, observing any areas of tension in your body. Continuing to breathe deeply in and out through the nose. Inhale, blink open your eyes, reaching your arms up and overhead, palms to touch. And exhale, bringing your left hand onto the mat, right arm reaches up and over. So you find into a side body stretch. So you can either press your hand into the mat or if it's available to you, you can come down onto your forearm. Just try sink your right hip towards the earth. So we don't want to lift our bum up. Keeping the sit bones on the earth, either gazing to the mat or up towards the right fingertips. Inhale, finding length. And exhale, switching sides. So right hand comes onto the mat. Excuse me here, buddy. And left arm reaches up and overhead. So finding that nice length from the left sit bones all the way up the side of the body to the fingertips. Inhale, coming back up through center, and then inhale, sweeping the arms back up, interlacing your fingers and flipping the palms up towards the sky. Try sink your shoulders down and away from the ears. Broaden your chest, breathing in. And exhale, twist over towards your right side. So you're gazing towards the right side of the mat, finding a gentle twist in your spine. And exhale, coming back through center and switching sides, gazing towards the left. Inhale, coming back through center and then releasing your hands back down to the knees, taking a nice few big round circles with the spine. So rolling out in one direction. And then switching to the other side. So you're rounding your back as you go backwards and then opening the chest as you come forward. Releasing back through center, finding that nice tall spine. And from your tall spine, straightening out the left leg to one side, bringing the right foot in to meet the left thigh. And then from here, bringing the left hand down, reaching the right arm up and over. So now we're combining that right side body stretch with a hamstring and thigh stretch. And again, the option to gaze up or down. You can also create a little cradle with your left hand, so bending into the left elbow. And we're just gonna stay here for a few rounds of breath. coming back up through center, and then switching sides. So we're going to straighten out our right leg. Buddy. There we go. Good boy. And bringing your left foot into your right thigh. Right arm comes down the length of the leg. Left arm reaches up and overhead. So sinking the hips down, straightening the right leg. You might want to keep your right toes nice and active, so flexing them up towards the sky. Again, the option to create that little cradle with your right hand, bending into your right arm. Notice where in your body you're feeling sensation. Where do you feel tightness? Where do you feel openness and spaciousness? And inhale, coming back up through center. This time straightening both legs away from you in a straddle position. And take this as feels comfortable in your body. So there's no need to open them super wide. Maybe they're a little bit closer together, or maybe you'd like to keep a little bend in your knees. That's all absolutely fine. Making sure that your toes are pointing up towards the sky, finding a nice tall spine. Inhale, pressing the fingertips into the mat as you lengthen your spine. And then exhale, hinging forward from the hips and just going as far forward as feels comfortable in your body. Maybe that's just a few inches, maybe coming down onto the forearms, or perhaps coming all the way down, resting the chest and upper body on the mat. Just taking a few rounds of breath here. Forward folds are generally very relaxing and restorative because they allow our rest and digest nervous system to kick in. And inhale, gently pressing yourself back up, coming into a seated position before rolling the knees over one side, coming into all fours, tabletop position. And here you either have the option to flow through a few rounds of traditional cat-cow, so dipping the belly, open the chest, and with your exhale, rounding your spine. Or option two, you can draw a figure of 8 with your body. So you're leaning forward, shoulders come over the wrists, and then coming backwards, drawing a figure of 8. So whichever choice feels good in your body today, go ahead with that. And if you were doing one direction of your figure 8, changing the direction. And then finding back into your neutral spine, walking the hands a little bit forward, tucking the toes and pressing the hips up and back, finding into our downward facing dog. So here you can pedal out your feet, so bending into one knee and the other, perhaps shaking the head yes and no. And then finding stillness, keeping as much of a bend in the knee as you need so you can lift your hips up and towards the sky, finding length. We're going to hold here for another 2 rounds of breath. And then exhale, dropping your knees, walking your hands a few handprints forward, and then sinking the upper body down so the hips stay above the knees, straightening the arms, and then resting either the forehead or your chin on the mat. So finding into puppy pose, our melting heart pose. This is a very intense shoulder stretch, so if you need to back out a little, go ahead and do that. exhale, releasing the hips back down towards the heels as you melt yourself into child's pose. So you can take this with the knees wide, or you can keep the knees together and then either straight, keeping the arms straight in front of you if you need that added bit of shoulder stretch, or if you'd like something a bit more restorative, you can bring the knees together and the arms back alongside your body. So your choice. Maybe try both options and see which one feels better in your body today, and then holding a few rounds of breath in your preferred pose. Inhale, gently pressing yourself up, coming through all fours and shifting the hips all the way down to the mat, rolling onto your belly, and then bringing the forearms parallel to one another with your elbows underneath your shoulders, opening the chest, finding into Sphinx pose. So you're pressing your pelvis into the mat, finding a back bend. And if this feels too strong in your back, you can come down onto the forearms, so bringing them parallel to the short edge of the mat, and rest your forehead on your forearms. Just an option. Exhale, release, bringing your hands underneath your shoulders, pressing yourself back up through all fours and finding another downward facing dog. So pressing your hips up and back, breathing deeply. And exhale, bending into the knees, walking your hands slowly back towards your feet, to the back of the mat. So you're finding into a standing forward fold. Your feet are hip width distance apart, keeping a generous bend in the knees, and then holding onto opposite elbows. An option to stay still, or you can gently rock from left to right. Releasing any residual tension in the lower back, in the shoulders, and the neck. Can be really helpful to keep your chin slightly tucked. And just let it go. Any stress, any thoughts, any emotions that you don't want to carry on into the next day, week, or even the next year, just let it go. Inhale, releasing the hands, halfway lift. And exhale, walking the hands forward, finding into high plank position. We're just going to hold here for one breath. Inhale. And exhale, lowering all the way down onto the belly, keeping the elbows tucked. And then straightening the right arm up towards the top of the mat, threading your left arm underneath and rolling back onto your back. You can shift your hips in, hugging the knees into the chest, giving yourself a loving embrace, maybe gently rocking from left to right, massaging out your lower spine. And exhale, releasing the feet back down to the mat. And we have two options here, either finding into a restorative bridge pose, so sliding a bolster or pillow underneath your hips, or you can gently press the hips up towards the sky, pressing the forearms into the mat, or maybe interlacing the hands, walking the shoulders in towards one another as you lift your pelvis, squeezing your glutes, keeping your chin tucked, and holding here for 3 rounds of breath. Exhale, release, slowly rolling your back down to the mat and hugging the knees back into the chest, grabbing onto the outside edges of your feet or grabbing your big toe with your index and middle finger, finding into happy baby. So the length of your spine is on the mat, your knees are drawing in towards your armpits, and then staying still or gently rocking from side to side. Sending your breath through the body, sending it to any areas that are feeling tight. Feel your body relax and soften. Inhale, releasing the feet back down to the mat, and then bringing the right ankle on top of the left knee. You can either stay here with the right knee drawing away from the body, or you can lift the left foot off the mat, hugging your left knee in towards the chest. And for an added stretch, you can press your right elbow into your right thigh, feeling the stretch across the right side hip and thigh. Again, try keeping the full length of your spine, your neck, and your head on the mat. Exhale, releasing the left foot back down, and then bringing the legs over towards the left side. And you can take any leg variation. I'm taking bound legs, but you can just let both knees drop over towards the left, straightening the right arm towards the right side, gazing up towards the sky or over your right shoulder. And letting the shoulders sink heavy, letting the hips sink heavy. And this gentle twist is particularly good for our digestive system, which may have had to work a little bit harder than usual with all the festive season treats and feasts. Exhale, releasing back up through center. And we're going to go ahead and switch over to the other side. So left ankle comes on top of right knee, staying either here, drawing that left knee away from your body, or hugging your right knee in towards your chest, pressing gently with the left arm into the left leg. Sinking the shoulders, the back of the head, sinking into the earth. Exhale, releasing the right foot back to the mat. And we're going to do our supine twist to the other side, so the knees drop over towards your right side, left arm stretches to the left side of the room, gazing up or over the left shoulder, and perhaps closing down the eyes, feeling the twist in your spine, the opening across your chest. Exhale, releasing back through center. You can either hug your knees into your chest, or if you'd like to join me by raising the legs up into the air, you can come into a dead bug pose. So lifting the feet up, keeping a bend in the knee, either keeping the arms alongside your body or reaching them up towards the sky. And this is, again, a really great pose to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, so the nervous system that helps you relax, de-stress, restore, And particularly having your limbs up in space facing the other way up can also be really good to the lymphatic system, to move any lymph that might have gotten stored around the body. Also welcome to rotate through the ankles and wrists if that feels good for you today, or you can simply stay still. Exhale, release. Hugging the knees back into the chest, giving yourself one last squeeze. And then releasing into Shavasana, so spreading the arms and legs away from you. If this feels uncomfortable in your back, you might like to roll a blanket underneath the knees. Otherwise, letting your body rest and relax in Shavasana now. Inhale, start to deepen your breath. Noticing any sounds in the room around you. Gently wriggling your fingers and your toes as you invite movement back into your body. Maybe stretching the arms up and overhead, pointing into the toes as you find length. And exhale, hugging the knees back into the chest. Rolling to one side. Taking a few moments here in the fetal position. And then gently, in your own time, pressing yourself back up into a seated position, keeping your eyes closed for now. Resting your hands on the knees. Shoulders are relaxed. And just take a moment to observe how you feel now at the end of practice. Notice how your mind, your body, and your spirit feel now after just a few short moments of yoga practice today. And while keeping your eyes closed, start to gently rub your palms against one another, rubbing them faster and faster as you build some heat up. Just a few more, and then placing the hands onto your eyes, feeling the warmth of your palms. Gently peel the fingers away from one another, letting some cracks of light in. And releasing, bowing the gaze, bringing the palms to touch. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing this yoga stretch session with me today to de-stress from the festive season. Maybe you're not practicing this during the festive season, that's also fine. Obviously, all of these stretches can be done throughout the year. If you are practicing kind of in real time, so at the end of December 2024, I'm wishing you all the love, happiness, and success that you deserve in 2025. Thank you so much for your support throughout this year. I'm really so grateful. Of course, if you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and do that. It really means a lot to me and helps support the channel. And I look forward to seeing you again on the mat again real soon. All my love.